Question 1. What was the primary purpose of the Statute of Rhuddlan in 1284? A. To establish English rule over Wales. B. To reform the English Church. C. To codify the laws of England. D. To declare war on Scotland. Answer. A. To establish English rule over Wales. The Statute of Rhuddlan in 1284 was primarily aimed at establishing English rule over Wales, integrating Welsh territory into the English legal system. Question 2. Name the battle in 1314 where Robert the Bruce secured Scottish independence from England. A. The Battle of Stirling Bridge. B. The Battle of Bannockburn. C. The Battle of Falkirk. D. The Battle of Culloden. Answer. B. The Battle of Bannockburn. The Battle of Bannockburn in 1314 was a significant victory for Robert the Bruce, securing Scottish independence from English rule. Question 3. Who authored the Commentaries on the Laws of England, a foundational text for English common law? A. Thomas Hobbes. B. Sir William Blackstone. C. Edward Coke. D. John Locke. Answer. B. Sir William Blackstone. Commentaries on the Laws of England was authored by Sir William Blackstone, serving as a foundational text for English common law. Question 4. In what year did the English Reformation begin, leading to the establishment of the Church of England, separate from the Roman Catholic Church? A. 1215. B. 1534. C. 1603. D. 1688. Answer. B. 1534. The English Reformation began in 1534, leading to the establishment of the Church of England, separate from the Roman Catholic Church, primarily due to the Act of Supremacy. Question 5. What was the original purpose of the 1601 Poor Law? A. To establish public education. B. To provide for the poor and destitute. C. To tax the wealthy. D. To restrict the movement of labour. Answer. B. To provide for the poor and destitute. The 1601 Poor Law was enacted to provide assistance to the poor and destitute, marking the beginning of state-sponsored welfare. Question 6. Identify the treaty that concluded the English Civil War in 1646. A. The Treaty of Westphalia. B. The Treaty of Utrecht. C. The Treaty of Versailles. D. The Treaty of Newport. Answer. D. The Treaty of Newport. Although the Treaty of Newport, 1648, attempted to end the hostilities of the English Civil War, it ultimately failed, leading to further conflict. Question 7. What significant scientific society was founded in 1660, promoting scientific advancement in Britain? A. The Royal Society. B. The British Academy. C. The Linnean Society. D. The Royal Institution. Answer. A. The Royal Society. Founded in 1660, the Royal Society was established to promote scientific advancement in Britain. Question 8. Who was the British monarch at the time of the Union of the Crowns in 1603? A. Elizabeth I. B. James I. C. Charles I. D. Henry VIII. Answer. B. James I. James I became the monarch of Scotland, England, and Ireland following the Union of the Crowns in 1603. Question 9. What was the primary outcome of the Glencoe massacre in 1692? A. The end of the Jacobite uprising. B. Strengthened laws against clan systems. C. A decline in the power of the monarchy. D. Heightened tensions between Scotland and England. Answer. D. Heightened tensions between Scotland and England. The Glencoe massacre in 1692 heightened tensions and resentment between Scotland and England. Question 10. In which century was the Act of Union between England and Scotland passed, formally creating Great Britain? A. 15th century. B. 16th century. C. 17th century. D. 18th century. Answer: D. 18th century. The Act of Union between England and Scotland was passed in 1707, formally creating Great Britain in the 18th century. Question 11. Who led the parliamentary forces against King Charles I in the English Civil War? A. Oliver Cromwell. B. Robert Cecil. C. Thomas Fairfax. D. John Pym. Answer: A. Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell led the parliamentary forces against King Charles I in the English Civil War. Question 12. Name the agricultural innovator known for his advancements in crop rotation during the British Agricultural Revolution. A. Charles Townshend. B. Jethro Tull. C. Thomas Coke. D. Robert Bakewell. Answer: A. Charles Townshend. Charles Townshend was known for his advancements in crop rotation during the British Agricultural Revolution. Question 13. What was the main consequence of the Jacobite uprising of 1745? A. The restoration of the Stuart monarchy. B. Strengthened Scottish independence. C. The imposition of harsh penalties and laws in Scotland. D. The end of the feudal system in England. Answer: C. The imposition of harsh penalties and laws in Scotland. The aftermath of the Jacobite uprising of 1745 saw the imposition of harsh penalties and laws aimed at suppressing the Scottish Highland culture and dismantling the clan system. Question 14. Detail the historical significance of the Battle of Waterloo in 1815 for Britain. A. It marked the beginning of the British Empire. B. It ended Napoleon's rule and marked a turning point in European history. C. It led to British withdrawal from continental affairs. D. It resulted in the loss of the American colonies. Answer: B. It ended Napoleon's rule and marked a turning point in European history. The Battle of Waterloo in 1815 was significant for Britain as it ended Napoleon Bonaparte's rule and marked a turning point in European history, contributing to a period of extended peace. Question 15. Who was the first Governor-General of India after the British Crown took control from the British East India Company? A. Warren Hastings. B. Lord Dalhousie. C. Lord Mountbatten. D. Lord Canning. Answer: D. Lord Canning. Lord Canning was the first Governor-General of India after the British Crown took control from the British East India Company following the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Question 16. What legal reform did the Great Reform Act of 1832 achieve in the British Parliament? A. It abolished the slave trade. B. It granted voting rights to women. C. It expanded the electorate, allowing more men to vote. D. It established the Commonwealth. Answer: C. It expanded the electorate, allowing more men to vote. The Great Reform Act of 1832 achieved significant legal reform in the British Parliament by expanding the electorate and addressing some of the most grievous abuses of the electoral system. Question 17. Which British Queen Consort was tried for adultery and executed in 1542? A. Anne Boleyn. B. Catherine Howard. C. Jane Seymour. D. Anne of Cleves. Answer: B. Catherine Howard. Catherine Howard, the fifth wife of Henry VIII, was tried for adultery and executed in 1542. Question 18. Name the ship that famously carried the Pilgrim Fathers to North America in 1620. A. The Mayflower. B. The Santa Maria. C. The HMS Beagle. D. The Endeavour. Answer: A. The Mayflower. The Mayflower is the ship that famously carried the Pilgrim Fathers to North America in 1620. Question 19. What is the significance of the Tolpuddle Martyrs in the history of British labour and trade unions? A. They founded the first trade union in Britain. B. They were executed for forming a trade union. C. Their transportation to Australia for forming a trade union became a symbol of the fight for workers' rights. D. They led the first nationwide strike. Answer: C. Their transportation to Australia for forming a trade union became a symbol of the fight for workers' rights. The Tolpuddle Martyrs case in 1834 is significant as it highlighted the harsh treatment of workers and became a rallying point for the labour movement and trade unions. Question 20. What pivotal naval battle in 1805 established British naval supremacy for over a century? A. The Battle of Trafalgar. B. The Battle of the Spanish Armada. C. The Battle of Jutland. D. The Battle of Midway. Answer: A. The Battle of Trafalgar. The Battle of Trafalgar in 1805 established British naval supremacy for over a century and marked a decisive victory against Napoleon's forces. Question 21. Who composed Rule Britannia, and in what year was it first performed? A. Edward Elgar in 1901. B. Thomas Arne in 1740. C. Henry Purcell in 1687. D. Ralph Vaughan Williams in 1910. Answer: B. Thomas Arne in 1740. Rule Britannia was composed by Thomas Arne and first performed in 1740. Question 22. Identify the British scientist who laid the groundwork for the modern theory of electromagnetism. A. Isaac Newton. B. Michael Faraday. C. Charles Darwin. D. Alexander Fleming. Answer: B. Michael Faraday. Michael Faraday is the scientist credited with laying the groundwork for the modern theory of electromagnetism. Question 23. What was the main result of the Corn Laws repeal in 1846 for British agriculture and economy? A. It led to a decline in domestic grain production. B. It significantly increased the cost of living. C. It improved trade relations with European countries. D. It marked the beginning of free trade policies. Answer: D. It marked the beginning of free trade policies. The repeal of the Corn Laws in 1846 is significant for marking the shift towards free trade policies in Britain. Question 24. In what year did the Great Exhibition, showcasing British industry and invention, take place? A. 1750. B. 1851. C. 1901. D. 1952. Answer: B. 1851. The Great Exhibition took place in 1851, showcasing the height of British industry and invention. Question 25. What historical event is marked by the annual celebration of Bonfire Night on November 5th? A. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. B. The Battle of Hastings. C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. D. The signing of the Magna Carta. Answer: C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Bonfire Night commemorates the foiling of the Gunpowder Plot, an attempt to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 26. Who was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during the Suez Crisis of 1956? A. Winston Churchill. B. Anthony Eden. C. Harold Macmillan. D. Clement Attlee. Answer B. Anthony Eden. Anthony Eden was the Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis of 1956. Question 27. Detail the purpose and significance of the Beveridge Report of 1942. A. It proposed the establishment of the welfare state. B. It outlined Britain's post-war foreign policy. C. It was a plan for economic development. D. It suggested reforms for the British education system. Answer A. It proposed the establishment of the welfare state. The Beveridge Report of 1942 is significant for proposing the creation of a welfare state in Britain. Question 28. Name the series of conflicts fought between Britain and China in the mid-19th century, primarily over trade disputes. A. The Boxer Rebellion. B. The Napoleonic Wars. C. The Opium Wars. D. The Russo-Japanese War. Answer C. The Opium Wars. The Opium Wars were a series of conflicts fought between Britain and China in the mid-19th century, primarily over trade disputes and the opium trade. Question 29. In what year was the Slave Trade Act, abolishing the slave trade throughout the British Empire, enacted? A. 1788. B. 1807. C. 1833. D. 1865. Answer B. 1807. The Slave Trade Act, which abolished the slave trade throughout the British Empire, was enacted in 1807. Question 30. What is the historical significance of the Battle of Britain in 1940 for the UK during World War II? A. It marked the first defeat of Hitler's military forces. B. It resulted in the British surrender to Germany. C. It was a significant air battle that prevented a German invasion. D. It led to the immediate end of World War II. Answer C. It was a significant air battle that prevented a German invasion. The Battle of Britain in 1940 is historically significant for being a crucial air battle that thwarted Germany's plans to invade Britain. Question 31. Which British monarch issued the Royal Proclamation of 1763, and what was its primary purpose? A. George III, to organise Britain's new North American empire. B. Elizabeth I, to encourage exploration. C. Victoria, to establish British rule in India. D. Henry VIII, to reform the Church. Answer A. George III, to organise Britain's new North American empire. The Royal Proclamation of 1763 was issued by George III with the primary purpose of organising Britain's new North American empire and stabilising relations with Native American peoples. Question 32. What groundbreaking social reform was introduced by the Married Women's Property Act in 1882? A. It allowed married women to inherit property from their parents. B. It granted married women the right to own and control property in their own name. C. It permitted married women to vote in local elections. D. It enabled married women to file for divorce on equal grounds with men. Answer B. It granted married women the right to own and control property in their own name. The Married Women's Property Act of 1882 was a significant legal reform that allowed married women to own, buy, and sell property in their own right. Question 33. Who was the last British monarch of the House of Hanover? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. Queen Elizabeth I. D. King Edward VII. Answer A. Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was the last monarch of the House of Hanover. Her son Edward VII belonged to the House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. Question 34. detailed the economic and social impacts of the Black Death on 14th century England. A. It led to a significant decrease in the population, resulting in labour shortages and higher wages for workers. B. It caused the collapse of the British economy and the abandonment of towns. C. It initiated the first wave of British colonisation. D. It had little impact on society, with life quickly returning to normal. Answer. A. It led to a significant decrease in the population, resulting in labour shortages and higher wages for workers. The Black Death drastically reduced the population, which had profound economic and social impacts, including labour shortages that eventually improved living and working conditions for the surviving working class. Question 35. What was the outcome of the 1707 Act of Union for the Parliaments of England and Scotland? A. They remained separate and independent entities. B. They were dissolved to form a new European Parliament. C. They were unified into a single Parliament of Great Britain. D. They lost all legislative powers to the monarchy. Answer C. They were unified into a single Parliament of Great Britain. The 1707 Act of Union merged the English and Scottish Parliaments, creating a single Parliament for the newly formed Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 36. Identify the architect responsible for rebuilding much of London after the Great Fire of 1666. A. Inigo Jones. B. Christopher Wren. C. Thomas Hardy. D. John Nash. Answer. B. Christopher Wren. Sir Christopher Wren played a key role in rebuilding London after the Great Fire of 1666, including designing the new St. Paul's Cathedral. Question 37. In which year did women in Britain gain the right to divorce their husbands for the first time, and under what Act? A. 1857, under the Matrimonial Causes Act. B. 1923, under the Equal Rights Act. C. 1837, under the Civil Marriage Act. D. 1975, under the Divorce Reform Act. Answer. A. 1857, under the Matrimonial Causes Act. The Matrimonial Causes Act of 1857 was the first law to allow women in Britain the right to divorce their husbands. Question 38. What was the primary strategic goal of the English longbowmen at the Battle of Agincourt in 1415? A. To break the French cavalry charges. B. To signal the start of the battle. C. To assassinate the French king. D. To destroy French siege equipment. Answer. A. To break the French cavalry charges. The English longbowmen at the Battle of Agincourt in 1415 played a crucial role in breaking the French cavalry charges, contributing significantly to the English victory. Question 39. Name the landmark 19th century publication by Charles Darwin that revolutionized the biological sciences. A. The Descent of Man. B. On the Origin of Species. C. The Expression of Emotions in Man and Animals. D. The Voyage of the Beagle. Answer. B. On the Origin of Species. Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species, published in 1859, introduced the theory of natural selection and revolutionized the biological sciences. Question 40. Who was the British monarch during the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215? A. Richard I. B. John. C. Henry II. D. Edward I. Answer. B. John. King John of England was the monarch during the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215, a document that limited the powers of the monarchy and laid the foundation for modern democracy. Question 41. What was the main impact of the Enclosure Acts on British rural life and agriculture? A. They led to the industrialization of agriculture. B. They caused a significant migration of rural populations to urban areas. C. They increased the efficiency of farming practices. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. The Enclosure Acts had multiple impacts on British rural life and agriculture, including leading to the industrialization of agriculture, causing significant migration from rural to urban areas, and increasing the efficiency of farming practices. Question 42. Who founded the Salvation Army, and in what year? A. John Wesley in 1739. B. William Booth in 1865. C. Charles Spurgeon in 1861. D. George Muller in 1834. Answer: B. William Booth in 1865. William Booth founded the Salvation Army in 1865 with the aim of bringing salvation to the poor, destitute, and hungry by meeting both their physical and spiritual needs. Question 43. Detail the significance of the Chartist movement in the 19th century British political reform. A. It successfully implemented universal suffrage. B. It was the first mass working-class labour movement in the world. C. It led directly to the Reform Act of 1832. D. It resulted in the immediate improvement of working conditions in factories. Answer: B. It was the first mass working-class labour movement in the world. The Chartist movement, while not immediately successful in all its aims, was significant as the first large-scale working-class political reform movement, pushing for democratic reforms like universal male suffrage and secret ballots. Question 44. In what year did the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, first begin its radio service? A. 1920. B. 1922. C. 1932. D. 1945. Answer: B. 1922. The British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, first began its radio service in 1922, becoming a cornerstone of British media and public life. Question 45. What was the primary focus of the Clapham sect in the 19th century? A. Promoting the abolition of the slave trade. B. Advocating for women's suffrage. C. Reforming the British educational system. D. Establishing labour unions. Answer: A. Promoting the abolition of the slave trade. The Clapham sect was a group of evangelical Christians in the 19th century, primarily focused on social reform, most notably the abolition of the slave trade. Question 46. Who was the first female Member of Parliament to take a seat in the House of Commons, and in what year? A. Margaret Thatcher in 1959. B. Nancy Astor in 1919. C. Constance Markievicz in 1918. D. Barbara Castle in 1945. Answer: B. Nancy Astor in 1919. Nancy Astor was the first female Member of Parliament to take a seat in the House of Commons in 1919. Question 47. What event led to the imposition of the poll tax in 1381, sparking a major revolt? A. The need to fund the 100 Years' War. B. The Black Death's impact on the economy. C. The desire to expand the British Empire. D. The cost of the Wars of the Roses. Answer: A. The need to fund the 100 Years' War. The imposition of the poll tax in 1381, aimed at funding the 100 Years' War, sparked a major revolt known as the Peasants' Revolt. Question 48. Identify the treaty that ended the War of the Spanish Succession in 1714. A. The Treaty of Paris. B. The Treaty of Utrecht. C. The Treaty of Versailles. D. The Treaty of Westphalia. Answer: B. The Treaty of Utrecht. The Treaty of Utrecht in 1713, effectively ending the war in 1714, concluded the War of the Spanish Succession, reshaping European power dynamics. Question 49. What was the primary function of the Poor Law Amendment Act in 1834? A. To provide universal health care. B. To abolish workhouses. C. To reform the system of poor relief by establishing workhouses. D. To grant pensions to the elderly. Answer: C. To reform the system of poor relief by establishing workhouses. The Poor Law Amendment Act of 1834 aimed to reform the poor relief system in Britain, notably through the establishment of workhouses. Question 50. Detail the origins and implications of the Glorious Revolution of 1688 for the British monarchy. A. It resulted in the establishment of a republic. B. It affirmed the divine right of kings. C. It led to the deposition of James II and established constitutional monarchy. D. It caused a civil war that lasted for decades. Answer: C. It led to the deposition of James II and established constitutional monarchy. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 resulted in the overthrow of King James II in favour of William III and Mary II, significantly limiting the powers of the monarchy and laying the foundation for a constitutional monarchy in Britain.